Our next disease to look at is malaria, which is caused by Plasmodium. Malaria has been called the pathogen that causes the greatest harm to the greatest number of people. There are approximately 500 million infections worldwide per year, about 2 million deaths. 3 billion people live with the threat of malaria. It is endemic to sections of Africa, Asia, and Central and South America, and it may be brought other places by travel. 5 out of 100 species of Plasmodium cause the disease: Falciparum, Viva, Ovale, Malariae, and Knowles, which is recently added. Falciparum is the biggest problem and the most pathogenic or virulent. Human beings are the only reservoir of this disease, and it is spread by the female Anopheles mosquito. So this is a vector-borne disease. There is a difference in the various species of Plasmodium, and this is related to differences in their preference of the parasite for the age of red blood cells. P. falciparum has no preference. P. vivax and P. volvile like young red blood cells, and P. malariae likes old blood cells. On the right, you see diagrams of various red blood cells being infected by the Plasmodium parasites and what the cells look like as they go through the progress of infection. This pathogen has 2 life cycles, one in the mosquito and one in humans. When a female mosquito takes a blood meal of an infected human, gametocytes go into the gut of the mosquito. They then undergo fertilization and swim to the salivary gland and mature there. Eventually, after development, they become infected, and when that mosquito bites another human, the disease is passed on. In the human life cycle, there's 2 stages. There is a liver stage where when a mosquito first bites a human, the plasmodia migrate to the liver and invade cells there and divide for a while, then go dormant. There are no symptoms of the disease at this point. Then there is the blood stage. The plasmodia will release from the liver, go into the bloodstream, and they will stick to red blood cells, invade them, and then feed on the red blood cells, and eventually cause the red blood cells to lyse. When this large amount of red blood cells lyse, that's when you get the symptoms of the disease. Fever, the night sweats, the chills. Then enter new red blood cells. They grow in those red blood cells. There's a period when you don't have this, and then they release all at once again, and then you get this strong immune response against it, and you get the symptoms of the disease. So it's a cyclic disease. Eventually, the immune system gets on top of the parasite and eliminates it from the body. Natural immunity to this disease is imperfect, and you can be reinfected, but you can be immune also. Treatment generally involves artemisinin-based drugs supplemented with chloroquine, lumenfantrine, or mondiaquine. However, exact treatment is complex depending on the region, the parasite, etc., and there's a whole book devoted to it. Genetic differences between humans determine susceptibility to the illness. Some black Africans don't have Duffy's antigen, and the plasmodia cannot enter their red blood cells, and they're immune to the disease. Also, people that carry the sickle cell gene, HBS, even one copy, are resistant to the illness. Okay, group discussion. All cases of malaria diagnosed in the U.S. are in people who travel to other countries. Why is there no presence of the disease here? The answer to this question is because the U.S. has eradicated the vector of the disease from the U.S. We actually used to have a significant amount of malaria in this country, but it's since been eliminated, and this happened after World War II. If those mosquitoes are ever allowed back into the area along with the parasite, there is a possibility that malaria could spread again in the United States. Let's hope that doesn't happen.